What a gorgeous day we have to share today. Happy Tuesday. Monday times 2 after a long weekend, but you know what? I feel great. Today is September 5, and it is, here in Alberta anyway, the first day of school. I'm just back from dropping my son off to his first day of school. His first day of grade 4, I should say, and was he ever happy who he got as a teacher and who's in his class. And so it's starting off as what looks like it's going to be a great year. Happy about that. The pondering today is from G.D. Sutton. He asked me to talk about the stigma in the medical field, how the stigma follows a person around about medical marijuana in the medical field. And this is something I may not be saying what he said very well, but something I can speak well to, because I carry with me very often. It's called our 101s at MMJ Total Healthcare. We have a package called 101s. It originated from Leafly's 101, where it's a package of, here are a whole bunch of things you need to know if you're getting involved with medical cannabis. It talks about THC and cannabidiol and all these different things, how they work with the body, all that kind of stuff. Some really great stuff. What makes it medicine, not what makes it pot. So I take those with me when I go on doctor's appointments. If I see a new doctor, I give them that. It's really neat. And as well, I have been to 4 or 5 hemp expos where a lot of doctors and nurses go. So what kind of reaction do I get? I'm going to start with my most negative reaction. About 9 months ago, I went to emergency. My anxiety was through the roof. I couldn't breathe well. It was one of my worst mornings ever, and I got myself to the hospital. But by the time they finally looked at me in emergency, most of it had gone through. But they ran a whole bunch of tests. They took my blood, they laid me down, and about an hour later, a doctor came by, and of course they questioned me, like, what medicine are you on? And I said, medical cannabis, mostly CBD, some THC, blah, 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 blah. The person who took the information didn't say a word, just didn't even bat an eye at what my answer was. Then, somebody riding their bike, behind their child riding their bike, but the mother riding the bike, is riding with her phone in front of her. OMG, that's not going to be a trouble. Anyways, the doctor, a lady doctor, came and sat with me and said, checked all your vitals, all your blood work, and I can say that it's your medical cannabis that's causing your anxiety. And I looked at her and I said, my blood work says that? No, I said that. I said, okay. What's your training in medical cannabis? She says, sir, I haven't had any training in medical cannabis. And I said, then how can you diagnose me? How can you suggest this caused the problem? She says, because nothing else is causing the problem. Could be in my environment, could be a lot of things, but I left there very upset. Left there really upset because they did zero for me. They just blamed it on. She said, I'm not here to discuss your results. I'm here to tell you your results, and I'm very busy with other sick people. Left her alone. Wasn't worth the trouble. But when I broke my foot, I saw a difference in that same emergency ward, not the same doctor. I wish I'd gotten the same doctor, because this time, 9 months later, they were very open about, wow, you're on cannabidiol? Is that why your foot isn't swelling? tell me more. I didn't have any of my pamphlets with me, but I had 4 different doctors and 2 different nurses while I'm waiting to get my cast on and x-rays and all that, having conversations with me, trying to learn more. They're hungry for it. I've noticed that also at we've got a hemp fest coming up here in Calgary in less than 30 days, end of September, beginning of October. And I'm shivering, it's cold this morning. So, when we had our last hemp fest, doctors and nurses coming up, wanting to learn as much as they can, and I love it. It has changed. When I went to my own doctor, 70 years old, he took the pamphlets, this was months ago, he read them, he even sent a few people to Natural Health Services since then, because he's totally for it, he totally believes in it, but now he's away, and the person replacing him is about 35. I didn't even know what her training in medical cannabis was, and I found out very little. So she asked for those pamphlets. So I don't see the huge stigma in the medical field anymore. I still see it with employers. I still see it with regular people that have never touched it. I still see it with the cops all the time. You see police chiefs all across Canada saying this is going to be horrible when it's not. And I mean, we've had medical cannabis in Canada since the 80s. Nobody's died. Nobody's died from it. And it saves so many people from the opioid crisis. I think that is what is changing the medical people's minds. Instead of giving their patient an opioid and maybe taking a chance of them getting addicted and even committing suicide down the road, they can give them medical cannabis, which will do the same thing and not cause any issue. So it's really changing. I hope it's changing for the better. I see it changing for the better. We'll have to see next year when recreation becomes legal and how that cascades into the medical field. Peace and cheers, friends. Love and harmony. Let's talk below. Peace.